Fathom Events have re-released Final Fantasy VII Advent Children Complete Edition at the theaters. That's right, in theaters. But is it any good? We'll talk. Hi, how you doing today? It's Just Jess here. Hope you're having a good day. And today, yes, so we got the movie Final Fantasy VII Advent Children Complete Edition. Is a 2006 re-release version, action, adventure, animation, CGI from the beloved series of Final Fantasy VII. 2 years have passed since the destruction of the Midgar, so 2 years after the original PS1 game hit store shelves and people played it. Avalanche, which is a team, soon faces a grave new threat. Will our heroes overcome this new danger, or was the first time their outing was simply a fluke? Find out as we talk about it. Brief history with the Final Fantasy franchise, guys, before we tackle this review. I love Final Fantasy. It has romance, amazing CGI, amazing characters, amazing gameplay. The first time I got introduced to Final Fantasy was PlayStation 1, Final Fantasy VIII, and I played that for a few hours. I'm like, this is cool, this is amazing, but I got to a hard boss and I just stopped. I didn't put it down. The next time I played Final Fantasy was on the Xbox 360, Final Fantasy 13. I know a lot of people did not like that, but I love those linear games. It has Snow, which is voiced by Troy Baker, which is known for The Last of Us. It has romance because he's like, Sarah! That was the first time I finished it because I played it back in 2015 in Steam when I was dating my beautiful, perfect girlfriend at the time, which we're no longer together. I finished it. I finished Final Fantasy 13, Final Fantasy 13-2, and Lightning Return. That is my favorite Final Fantasy series. I even have other Final Fantasy games, such as Final Fantasy 16 still in its sealed copy. You see that? The reason why I waited to play, even though it came out last year in the summers, because Diablo 4 took up all of my time, and now that I know they're having more expansion, I'm waiting for it. So I am a fan of Final Fantasy, like, in general, because of the romance and the CGI and everything, even though some other characters don't have, like, romance, not all of them, but most of them do. That's why I love Final Fantasy 13, because of the Snow and the Sarah. I love the romance. I get it that a lot of people like Final Fantasy 7 because of Sephiroth, and of course Cloud, and beautiful sexy Tifa, Aerith, and Barrett. The cast of core characters in regular Final Fantasy 7 should not be missed. And let's be honest, and why do you think they're re-releasing this in theaters? It's because the highly anticipated contender Game of the Year, Final Fantasy Rebirth, which is part 2 that's coming out for PlayStation 5, comes out next week. So they brought it to theaters, and they got guys like me watching the movie, and it was amazing. There was a couples, there was a lot of people, but it's only for a limited time, which was and bad timing too. I was just like, wow, I had to call off work. Well, I called off work to get into the movie. This movie acts like a sequel to the original game, but it's 2005 and it's a CGI. However, it does hold up today and it looks amazing, especially on the big screen. The PS1 original game came out January 31st, 1997, and they have a 3-part remake for PlayStation 5 for the next gen console. I played part 1 on PS4 Pro back in 2021 in December and also January, and I'm also waiting release for the part 2 of Rebirth that's hitting store shelves next week, which 2 days ago I went to GameStop. I pre-ordered my physical copy for PlayStation 5. Basically, we follow Avalanche, which is the team of the core of the characters, well, mostly Cloud, after 2 years as he's still reeling the loss and the trauma of what happened in the original PS1 video game, and of course the outcome was Sephiroth. However, most of the gang is separated for the majority of the runtime, only to come back at the end. Cloud as a character, now keep in mind, this is 2005, this is the English dub version. In this version, I did not like Cloud. I feel like in the video games, he's a little bit more fleshed out, and keep in mind, I did also play Crisis Core, which is a prequel to the Final Fantasy series saga in PSP Portable. I mean, he is like, he tries to be cool, he's strong-willed it, but he's just like, feels so cocky, standoffish. Now, yes, I went to Reddit, and of course, Reddit, let's not lie to you, it's not always reliable. People have said, majority, that he acts like a first-class soldier should act, because if you guys know the Buster Blade, the big sword that he carries, he got that from Zack from Crisis Core at the end of that video game. But still, it's like, dude, you could show a little bit more emotion. I mean, I am a strong dude. I would be strong, but still I would be more flirty. But that's just me. I guess Cloud, I mean, people like Cloud, but I just can't get behind him. I know that's a big thing to say. People love Cloud. I love Final Fantasies, yes, because of Cloud, but also because of sexy Tifa and Aerith, which of course I also met in real life in Comic-Con. I'll send you photos here right now. A new threat has emerged when the trio of thugs inject gymnostasmia, which is a disease known to little kids, and they also call Cloud his brother. The reason why I'm saying it brother is because in the movie they call him brother because he has Genova cells in him in order to reclaim mother. In the movie, it looks like a green, light blue like substance that can grant the user human strength and speed, of course, like how they did it with Sephiroth. This movie was not what I was expecting it, to be honest with you. Maybe when I was younger, I did like it, but we had so many iterations, years of Final Fantasy video games and movies, and even the PlayStation 5 that that I saw with a different cast of English dub, which I do prefer the new characters in the remake in the video game than to this. I could not be more honest with you and to let you know that this left me feeling a little very disappointed. Before the movie, I was at the theaters, I was like, oh my god, this is Final Fantasy VII, this is what everyone else likes, this is what other people like Cloud. I even took photos at Comic-Con, as you can see here. Like, it's a different level, it's Final Fantasy. But then when I left the theaters, I'm like, this is bad. And I'm sorry, you guys know that I'm a glass half full, I like being positive, but still, dude, this is why you get your hype levels in check, because I thought this movie was going to spoiler the game because I only played part 1. Maybe I have to play the original PS1 game, an original 1997, but part 2 is coming out next week, so I'm definitely not going to do that. But I already got spoiled with the story. Now, if you played the video games, you know that they're changing the narrative of the story, of who dies, of the events. I'm like, damn, dude. So I know it's going to uncharted territory, but according to the wiki, Final Fantasy VII Advent Children Complete Edition, which it's still canon. Now, you're probably wondering, what is the difference between complete and non-complete edition? Well, what I gathered up the sources was it adds 30 minutes of runtime of exposition and dialogue to flesh out the story of Final Fantasy VII in this world of Midgar. The only thing that's really good about this movie is the CGI absolutely still holds up, and watching the movie for the first time in the theaters, it looks amazing. I'm like, wow, dude, this is cool, but maybe they can update it a little bit if they make another movie based on Final Fantasy. Because you gotta keep in mind, I played the video games on PS5, I played the remake part 1 on PS5, and also the DLC Integrate Intermission remake, but still, it's like, when you get accustomed to new graphics, PlayStation 5, PC, this just looks a little bit and sounds a little jauty. I am always a component for English dub. I did see this movie in English dub, and everyone always tells me Japanese is better, Japanese is better. Yes, I understand that, but still, to me, I prefer the English dub. I feel like English dub has come a long way in 2024. Right now, I'm watching Spy Family for a future movie that's coming out in English dub, and tomorrow, I'm giving you a review of Demon Slayer. That's right, Demon Slayer in English dub, so I cannot wait, because English dub has a chance to grow. I saw the whole series of Sword Art Online in English dub, so that's just my preferred way. However, for this movie, I don't think English dub was there. You gotta keep in mind, this movie came out in 2005, so English dub back then for Japanese titles was way differently than what it is now in 2024. But I'm like, wow, dude, because some of the times the characters were talking, it had me and the theater laughing and chuckling at a few moments. They're just like, ah, or Cloud's like, yeah. I'm like, what? This is a movie that got made in theaters? Like I said, I gotta check out the Japanese dub, but I'm just like, wow, dude. I mean, of course, you still have the beautiful and sexy Tifa, but still, I prefer the character models to the new version of the video games than to this. Now, yes, of course, this is probably the first time people are watching it on the big screen. They probably do like it, but to me, as a reviewer, as a guy who played multiple Final Fantasy games and even the new ones, I prefer the new characters and the new English voice acting compared to this. And one thing to know, the team is not even together until the end of the fight. I mean, yes, we do get a lot of sexy Tifa, which is my personal favorite of Final Fantasy VII in terms of the cast, and she does get her own unique cool fight sequence, but still, it's like, this is old stuff, this is old movies, this is 2005 2006 release, it's 2024. Yes, Tifa looks a little bit different in the movie, but it's like the whole Avalanche team, the reason why I fell in love with these cast of characters or Final Fantasy in general is the team dynamic, the romance, the CGI, the cutscenes, the team working together, the bonding, and for the team to be dismantled only to appear at the end, like Red 13 coming in, Yuffie from the DLC, and also Barrett, and Tifa's like still there. It's like, what's going on now? Yes, it has everything jammed into it, such as a lot of exposition, a lot of dialogue, good action sequences, chase sequences, but keep in mind, this is 2006 release, and one of the things that I noticed too was the volume of the movie. Now, yes, I don't think it's my movie theater because I've seen so many movies at the same movie theater, which was AMC Niles 12, but I can't comprehend, like, wow, dude, this movie has a lot bad going for it. And as a guy that wants to like be positive in the world and with movies, I'm just like, dude, I just felt disappointed and sad. I'm like, I can't believe I switched off work to watch this in theaters, which of course is the best way to see movies, but I just felt a little bit disappointed. As a person who's only played part 1 remake on PS4 Pro and has my pre-order ready for part 2, I cannot say this as a more honest. This movie literally let me down and I felt really disappointed going into it. All the characters that came up in the video game don't even show up until the end, and the things that I love about Final Fantasies are present here, but only to a certain degree. I'm sorry to be honest with you guys, as a 2006 re-release, watching it for the first time in theaters English dub, I'm gonna give this a C-. As always, guys, if you made it this far, I really appreciate it so much. Maybe consider hitting that like button and turning on notifications so you never miss a video. And with that, take care, bye.